Hey teachers, I want to show you in this video how to adjust and customize your settings in your settings for Zoom. So the first thing you want to do is go to zoom.us and click on My Account. The first thing that you're going to see is your profile. So if you want to edit any information in here about your own profile, your time zone, your calendar, your personal ID number, anything, that's what you're going to do in your profile. We're going to focus on settings. So click on settings on the left column. And I'm just going to show you the settings that I think you need to know about. There are a ton of settings in Zoom because Zoom is used for a lot of things. It's used for conference calls, it's used for presentations, for webinars, for a lot of different meetings. For online lessons, there are only a few things that you really need to know about or modify. Schedule meeting, let's talk about host video. So you want to start meetings with the host video on so that you don't need to worry about turning that on. And I would also turn your participants video on so that you don't have to tell them to turn it on. Audio type, you likely won't be having students call from a telephone. So just do computer audio. So that's everybody, they join, they automatically get connected to the computer audio. Join before host. Turn that on if you want your students to be able to join the call before you arrive. If you don't want that, you can turn that off. If you don't want students coming into your meeting or trying to get into your meeting before it's time for their lesson, you can turn that off. Require a password. We're going to skip down to require a password for personal meeting ID. If you want to, I'll give you a few ideas to help with security while we're going through this list, because there have been some things coming up online with Zoom, especially about trolls or hackers trying to get into Zoom meetings. To prevent that, I will give you a couple of ideas. The first one is to require a personal meeting ID password, and then you also want to embed that password, make sure this is on, in the meeting link. That way they don't actually need that password to join. However, you will know that password in your meeting ID in your meeting. It'll show you what password your students need to join. Okay, you don't need to mute participants. Make sure that chat is on. Turn it back on. If you want to do private chat, that's something you could do during a group class so that you can chat with one student back and forth without the other students seeing that. Turn on file transfer. You don't need to worry about any of these. Screen sharing, make sure this is on so you can share your screen, and I would say only the host can share. That is another privacy setting that you can make sure that not everyone can share their screen, but just the host. See if there's anything else. Group HD video, if this is on, you need to make sure everyone has really good internet, but you can turn that group HD video off for faster streaming. Okay, and this one is really important. Virtual background is where a student can change their background, and they could have a lot of fun playing around with this during a lesson. So if you've had trouble with that or don't know where that setting is, here it is. Make sure you turn it off. And the last one we're going to talk about is a waiting room. Turn that waiting room on if you want to admit people into a meeting. You can also put people back into the waiting room if you want to disable one of your devices or have one of the students waiting and they're not actually in the call with you, so that they can see everything and so that you can talk to them. Okay, and that's it. Those are the basic settings that I want you to know about and to modify if you need to. I think it's helpful for you to go into Zoom and familiarize yourself with everything. If you're using Zoom 100% of the time for your online lessons, it's wise to familiarize yourself with what it's capable of. It's a very powerful tool if you know how to use it. And yes, I think you'll really enjoy getting to do these different settings and customize the lessons for the way you want them to be. All right, thanks, and let me know if I can help in any other way with your Zoom questions.